Today, I am here to tell you a story about a boy who was obsessed with the Game Boy and the GameCube. And that boy was me. From what you can tell from this clover is that I had a dog named Sierra, I have a brother who does funny things, I like GameCube, I like Zelda game, and I also like Animal Crossing. And if you don't believe this, well then believe these. So my grandma would save everything. I wouldn't classify her as a hoarder necessarily because everything was very neat and organized. The house is tip-top shape. She would just save lots of things in bins and stuff for us. And so recently I was going through a bunch of things that she saved and I stumbled upon this bin of school stuff. And so in there I found drawings that I did and different tests and projects that I worked on. And in there I found some real solid gems. I'm Zion from Nintendo Life, and today we're going to be having some fun. I'm going to be sharing with you a ton of school projects and things that I did, themed around Pokemon, themed around tons of things in the game universe, themed around Zelda, tons of stuff. And then at the end, I'm going to be sharing with you my Legend of Zelda fanfic that I wrote in 2003. It's definitely going to be a little cringy, but hey, that's what happens, right? Whatever. Let's crack this stuff open. So first off, we have this lovely Pokemon binder thing that I made. I loved to draw Pikachu when I was a kid. He was my go-to. It was like Pikachu or Triforces, but here you see there's a wide variety actually. I'm assuming that's a Butterfree down there, a Metapod, a Ditto, a Pinsir, Electrode, and then we have Tauros on the back here. There's like a weird Caterpie, Staryu, Starmie, Lapras with like some weird things. Charizard looks like he just got accused of something. So I like to draw Pikachu a lot, right? So here's just a plain yellow paper with Pikachu on it. Here's a little thing that you fold a piece of paper and then you cut around it into a shape. And then it's a Pikachu on a Pikachu. Sure, no big deal. Here is a house that says my name on it, and there's a Pikachu and a worm or a Ditto or something. And then I'm pretty sure that's Patamon from Digimon, because I also had an obsession with Patamon for a while. He was my favorite Digimon. And then inside is a math equation, which here is another one of those folding things, but this time just as a normal Pikachu. Oh, here's a nice little drawing of a Pikachu, but then on the back is actually a note that I wrote. I like drawing Pokemon because they are cute. I put eyes, cheeks, body, feet, arms, and tail for Pikachu. Aww. Here is a very simplistic monochromatic Pikachu and Ditto surfing. Also, I'm not sure if you ever went and did this, but in Pokemon Yellow, if you 100% complete the surfing minigame with Pikachu, you actually unlock Ditto to surf along you afterwards. I can't say that with a straight face. That doesn't happen. And this is how obsessed with Pikachu I was. I was given the choice to create my own state, and I created the Pikachu States. I pledge allegiance. This one I like to call Pikachu's Crafted World. This was made in April of 2000, so I was 7. This is a door hanging sign thing that I made with surfing Pikachu in Spanish. And then not only did I like to draw Pikachu on everything, I like to draw everything as Pikachu, I guess, as well. Because here we have Pikachu Train, and also the conductor is Pikachu. This one is clearly a Dynamaxed version of Pikachu. And the way I can tell that is because not only is that is definitely a tree, a ginormous tree on the side, and Pikachu is also almost touching the sun, which is smiling. That's a key thing about any Zion Grossel childhood drawing, is a smiling sun. You can also see there is a tiny person there on the bottom that Pikachu is about to smother, about to crush, but they're for some reason choosing to spare that human's life. And then we have a big Pikachu. This one, I don't know what is going on with this one. Let's see if we can get him hung up here. And we have a nice collage of Pokemon here. This one's pretty special because we don't have a single Pikachu on this at all. We have Hitmonchan, I'm assuming that's Venusaur, which has got some crazy mad fangs there. Marowak, Geodude, Hitmonlee, and then we have a Raichu, which I never drew. And I've got to say, the quality on Raichu is definitely top tier. I mean, I can't believe I actually managed to swing the tail around above his head. And then we've got a Persian on the backside along with a Starmie, and then the ghost of Hitmonchan. And then I'm going to introduce you to the Groundhog in Winter story by Zion Grossel. Now I won't read the story because it's not really relevant. The reason why I'm showing it to you is because it's pretty obvious. This is a story that I wrote. So you know how like little kids always write their name up in the top left corner? Any assignment or paper or anything like that? Maybe they use iPads now, I don't know. For a while, thought it would be cool if I called myself Zelda instead of Xeon, because Zelda, I thought I would get made fun of less for. I'm not really sure why. And this was also probably before I knew that Zelda was not the main character of The Legend of Zelda, that it was actually Link. So I wrote Zelda up top. This story is The Adventures of Bulbasaur and Blastoise. Let's get on to the story. The one-page triple space story. Blastoise jumped into a ocean. Bulbasaur went in the meadow. And they got lost, dummies. They went looking for each other, and they found each other. The end. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. No, you're too kind. You are way, way too kind. Stop. Stop it. Stop. And then we have this wonderful piece. I'm not sure if this is me or what, but it is definitely not a gerbil. It is a child. But yeah, I'm going to assume that's me. I also like to draw Butterfree for a while. And then I'm assuming this is also Butterfree's head. If we look at the two to compare them, that would make sense. But it also kind of looks like Venonat's. Here we also have the evolutionary line for Butterfree. We have Caterpie, Metapod, and of course Butterfree right there. This was September of '99, and my absolute magnum opus for Pokemon drawings. We have this wonderful piece where Pikachu's ego has grown so large that it has consumed his entire body, and that is all that is left. So unfortunately, this piece is not for sale, but if anyone would like to commission me to draw a Pokemon of their choosing, please feel free to drop in my DMs. If we can hit some sort of mutual monetary agreement, I bet that we can figure out something. I would love to work with you. I don't know if I'd ever be able to reach this level of quality again, but I will definitely give it my best. And then we also have this collage of Pokemon that I drew. Clearly, you can see all the starters. Togepi, either Ash's hat or like an alternate dimension Luigi hat where he's actually the lead character instead and his outfit is red. And then there's some Digimon over here. Patamon, my boy, Digivice. I'm not really sure what is going on up here. If anyone can make that out, please someone tell me. And then, so my girlfriend has a nephew. I introduced him to the Switch at some point. He has been like obsessed with drawing Nintendo Switches ever since. And I've talked with my girlfriend Fallon before about it, and I've just been like, why does he do that? Why is he so obsessed with it? And because he'll just draw them in like different colors, and he'll go on like different websites and custom make his own Switches. Here I was doing not the same thing necessarily, but a very similar thing. I was drawing Game Boys with D-pads on the opposite side, and I must have been pretending to play Pokemon the trading card game, because there's a Pokeball in the middle with like a bunch of energies floating around it, and maybe this was like a link cable to like connect against someone else to play. I don't know, but I just thought that was so funny to see his drawings and like how like some of the things that I've been into has like rubbed off onto him to draw Switches, and now it's like childhood me did the same exact thing. And then on to the Legend of Zelda folder. There is a Game Boy on the front with a little link up there. I'm not sure what this necessarily is, but I'm going to assume it's related to Oracle of Ages because that's what's on the backside. I just drew a bunch of equipment pieces from Oracle of Ages. And apparently I loved Oracle of Ages so much that I made up a game about it. And I'm not sure if this was for a project or anything, but I basically just made a version of Candyland, but Oracle of Ages instead. Tried to like incorporate different things from the game, but they weren't really like that cool of moments. Like, oh, you fall in a hole, move back to start. But it's like all the way at the beginning, so it's really not like that detrimental if you fall on there. Hit with a rock, move back 2 spaces. Oh boy. You find Ricky, you move forward 5. Then you have to roll a 5 or higher to beat Varin. Otherwise you just stand there. And then there's Nehru. Not only was there that, but obviously you need character pieces to move across the game. So I made little characters with Candyland, or like sorry bottom pieces. So I have Link and Zelda, and then I also have Goron, and I also have Zora. First off, I cut these out of a strategy guide, so rest in peace strategy guide. I don't know what happened to you other than this. But then the other funny thing is that I actually wrote the names of the characters on the backside. So if you were a dummy and you didn't want to look like a fool in front of your friends, then you would know that this is Link and this is Zelda, and not the other way around. Wow. Here is also a picture of Link. I've determined that this one is clearly from Ocarina of Time. A, because he is wearing hover boots down here you can see. One could possibly argue that those are Pegasus boots, but I would beg to differ because you can see at one point I drew 2 hands here, but then I actually went and erased the second hand and made another arm and hand going across here holding the sword. So we clearly know that this is the big Goron sword. Case closed. This is one of the stories that I wrote. So this one was written by Xeon, not Zelda or Link. This was written on December 21st, 2000. The story is called Beware of Morpha. Once upon a time, there was a town called Clocktown. There was a girl named Zelda. She was looking for Morpha. Zelda was the prince of Clocktown. She wanted to play with him. She knew where it was, but a woman stopped her from going on. It was Angie from the Inn Hotel. She told Zelda not to go to Morpha's house. Angie said, he lives in pools and he has rail fins. He has rail fins. Scary, I say, scary. And she left. Zelda saw the postman go by with bunny ears. Surely he would know where because he delivers all the mail and Morpha has a house, remember? Zelda asked the postman if he knew how to get to Morpha's house. The postman said, no, I will not show you the way to Morpha's house. He has scary eyes. Zelda did not care. She was going to Morpha's house. But that is the end of the story. Unfortunately, we will not know the thrilling conclusion. They probably just hung out and had like a tea party, or, you know, they probably played Oracle of Ages Candyland. We also have this wonderful drawing that I made of me hanging out with my horse Spirit instead of Epona. I gave Epona some huge hooves, by the way. Those are massive. And then we also have this little writing guide where I just, you know, wrote in it and then got scored. And on the back side here, we can see there is Digiworld. Yeah, there's a lot of Digimon going on here. Agumon, I like how he's placed. And then the reason this is in the Zelda stack is because on the other side here, we have, this is just a giant pile of Majora's Mask items and masks and things. Like we have Epona here, and then Link, who is wearing the Goron mask, but like isn't transformed, and he's holding a Master Sword, and I think the Mirror Shield. And there's the Bunny Hood, the Keaton mask, there's an Ocarina, the Deku mask, the Zora mask, maybe the Great Fairy, there's Keifi's mask. And this one is one of my favorites. As I stared at it, things slowly came back to me, and maybe, just maybe, you'll be able to help solve a little bit more about it. I'm pretty sure that this is from Majora's Mask and that it's Snowhead. Because up here, that's clearly definitely like a moon or something. And there's probably like fire up top here with like the moon like crashing down. And then this definitely looks like Snowhead. It makes sense, except for there is a snowball that's chasing Epona. And that doesn't happen at all. But then you can see there's like a big character over here. That's probably a Goron. Maybe that's a tiny Goron, or it's just a snowflake. I don't know. And then I stared at this side for a while, but then I thought maybe this is where Darmani is frozen up top. And this is kind of supposed to be like the stairs, like that you like climb up with the Lens of Truth and you hope that you don't fall down and then have to climb all the way back up again. As I mentioned, I grew up not knowing that the main character was actually Link, not Zelda, that you played as. So maybe this was shortly after and I felt the need to teach other people. So I said, this is Link. And then this, I still never knew who Epona was, apparently. I definitely did, but I don't know why. I just didn't. Maybe someone else was hoarding the other stamps, so I couldn't spell Epona's name out. Who knows? And then the creme de la creme, the Legend of Zelda fanfiction, written by Xeon Grossel in 2003. February 20th, to be specific. The story is called Link, Boy Wonder. One night in the land of Hyrule, a boy named Link was in bed. He is an orphan. His parents were killed by the evil Ganondorf. But he does not live in an orphanage. He lives in a little village called Kokiri Forest. When he was sleeping, two little fairies came in his window, and one said, "Is he the one? Is he the boy wonder?" "Yes," said to the other fairy. "Ah! Ah!" Link yelled, and passed out on the floor. 'Cause why not? "Let's take him to the Deku Tree," said the fairy. So they took him to the Deku Tree, and when they got there, the fairies introduced themselves to Link. "I'm Navi," said Navi. "I'm Nivea," said Nivea. "I'm the Deku Tree's fairy," said Nivi. "And Nivea is your fairy." I don't know whose fairy is. Wait. Nivea is my fairy, and I've got a fairy. "Wahoo! It's my birthday! Oh, I get a fairy!" said Link. "Link, I have something to tell you. You are the chosen one," said the Deku Tree. "The chosen one for what?" "To save Hyrule, of course." said the Deku Tree. Where do I start? Said Link. You can start by going to Hyrule Castle, said the Deku Tree. All right then, I'm off! When Link got to Hyrule Castle and met Princess Zelda, she told Link about the evil Ganondorf and that he wanted to take over the land of Hyrule. She gave him an ocarina and taught him the Song of Time and Zelda's lullaby. When he left, he had to go to the temple and play the Song of Time in front of the altar, and the legendary Master Sword would appear. And if he pulled it out, and he would be 7 years older. He pulled it out and he went to destroy Ganondorf, but before he could leave, Zelda came and gave him the light arrow and a bow and arrow. And this is just a retelling of Ocarina of Time, but from Child Xehanhood's perspective, while apparently cutting out some of the major plot points. When he left the Temple of Time, he found zombies everywhere, and the town was destroyed. He had to kill the zombies in order to get to the castle. The zombies had got him, but he used a sword spin and killed them all. When he got into the castle, Ganondorf was standing right in front of him. What are you doing here? Said Ganondorf. I must get you for killing my parents, said Link. So be it, said Ganondorf. When Link shot Ganondorf with a light arrow and got stunned, that gave Link the perfect chance to attack. He hit him 3 times, and he died. And he just died. Beaten by a mere child? How could that be? Said Ganondorf. No! He said. When Link left, he found that there were no more zombies. And the town and the temple was fixed. And that's how Link saved Hyrule and became the Boy Wonder. I am so sorry. That was such a terrible story. Well, I hope that was a good way for you to spend your time and for me to also spend it. If I'm being super honest here, I would love to make more videos like this where I just get to talk about, you know, random things from my gaming past or just random memories that I have. Because, you know, I've been collecting video games and playing video games for 20 years. And I imagine a lot of you can relate to some of this stuff. I bet plenty of you have little drawings and things like this of Pokemon and Zelda and Sonic the Hedgehog and Mario and all sorts of different things. And, you know, if you have any stuff like this and you have it, you know, laying around, please post some links in the comments down below or reach out to me on Twitter and, you know, share some of this stuff. And I would love to retweet it and would love to just see it. Because, I mean, going through this stuff brought me so much joy. And it was also so ridiculous that I thought that some of you might enjoy seeing it. And, you know, maybe this was not the best use of my time, but I had a lot of fun making it. So if you enjoyed this kind of video and you'd like me to make more things like this, if you'd like to hear me just talk about a certain topic that I might have information or knowledge on or a story about, please leave it in the comments below or just reach out to us. And if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more content like this, then make sure to hit that subscribe button, not just because my grandma told you to do it, and you don't want to disappoint my grandma, do you? Thank you all so much for watching. I'm Xehan from Nintendo Life, and I had a ton of fun making this video. Looking over all these old relics of mine, it's been a blast. Stay safe out there, and we will see you next time.